Alright, welcome back to Make It Mental. Here's another continuation of Operation Caddy Hack. And so what I got here in this particular case happens to be a aluminum chassis. For those of you who don't just joining me or seeing this video for the first time, this is for a WL Toys product. As you can see, I split it, but along the process I'm deciding I'm going to address some of the sloppiness concerns. Now I've did one side here so you guys can kind of see what's going on here. And let me move this a little bit here. As I'm moving it, you can see there's very little slop, and the arm isn't even moving. And as I'm moving the chassis back and forth, you can see all the slop on the factory side. Now I'll come over here and just demonstrate with one finger. I mean, look at all that slop. So you're curious of how it's done, right? I would be. So basically all you're gonna need is this type of screw, which is an M2.5. This one right here, you're gonna want that of equal length that you're gonna replace. This is what came out of it. You don't have to replace this. I'm gonna show you how you can use the same one if you want to. So that M2.5 goes right here. What you're gonna do is you're gonna chuck it in your drill. You're going to gently file off the threads. You want this in your drill nice and straight, and then you're going to gently file off the threads. You want to leave about the same amount of threads as the one you took off, right? So you want to leave about that many threads. That's basically all this is an M2.5. All they did was grind down the threads, except they ground it down too far. So your lower arm rocks back and forth on this joker. So you're going to pick a spot and then gently take your time, file it down as it's rotating on the drill. Dry fit it as many times as it takes until it takes up slack, but it articulates freely. And that will solve the steering knuckle slop right here, or at least most of it. You can see I probably got just a little bit too much, but that's a hell of a lot better than what was going on right here. I mean, this, I don't even know what to call it. It's definitely sloppy. So that's how you fix that one. Let me pause it and I'll show you how to fix the slop in the lower arm from here to here. Okay, and it's taken the little pin out. As you can see, it's slightly deformed. And that's because I beat it with a hammer. And then you want to do this just slightly. And you can see that's just slightly flattened. And this will also put in a slight bend in it. You're stretching out the metal a little bit, but it's going to take up the slack inside the suspension arm, inside here. It's going to take up the slack in an oversized hole. So that's all that's doing. Again, take your time doing this. You want to do it up against something hard. You know, you don't want to be banging on this little joker in the dirt or the mud, obviously, or on your carpet. You want something hard like that. And set it on there and gently hit it with a hammer. I mean, just hit it as many times as it takes. Keep hitting it in one spot, but don't hit it too hard and deform it severely. Like that side right there, and it will no longer fit inside this cavity here where it's supposed to go. But it does fit if I run it the opposite direction. So there's that. So you want to try and stay away from the tips, although, let me rephrase that. Yeah, you want to beat it because there's slop in here and then there's slop in the back piece too. So yeah, hit it with a hammer. Hit it gently, hit it a little bit harder until you get the desired results that you want, and keep doing it as many times as it takes. Keep putting it in and out of the arm until it takes up the slop, until it can't wiggle back and forth. You just want it to be able to get in there with some resistance, but you want to be able to push it in and out with your fingers, then call that good. If you can't push it in with your fingers, then there's too much stress, too much of a bind between this pin and the suspension arm. All right, hope that excuse me, all tongue twisted. Hope that helps you out, guys, in your project if you decide even just improve your WL Toys product, or maybe there's some similar to the car that's got horrible suspension geometry.